Welcome to 409's Data Dump, our monthly podcast offering technology bites for the business owner. My name is Sarah Crom, managing partner of SKC & Co. CPAs and one of the shareholders of 409 Solutions. 409 was a spinoff from a service line that we've offered at SKC since 2019. Now its own company, 409 Solutions, provides technology solutions to small and medium-sized businesses in the areas of dashboard creation, process automation, and software integration. Today, we are excited to bring you Mike Zakrzewski, and we are going to do a little bit of an introductory podcast today to get to know him a little bit better and what he does for 409 on the team. Welcome, Mike.
I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me, Sarah.
Happy to do this. So I've already done this with Trevor and Ryan, and it has been pretty eye-opening. I thought I knew you guys well, but diving deep into some of these questions, I'm learning a lot more, and I like that. So I'm happy to bring that to the audience as well, to get to know you guys as people and not just as data scientists or, as Trevor says, data nerds. So let's jump in with some personal intel about you. Where were you born?
I was born in Teaneck, New Jersey.
Okay. 3 out of 3. All you guys were born in Jersey.
Perfect.
Any siblings?
Yes, one younger sister.
Very cool. Where do you live now?
I live in Pompton Plains, New Jersey, originally from Oakland, New Jersey.
Okay, very cool. Hobbies. What interests do you have outside of work life?
Golf, for sure. Exercising, I would say, and generally just hanging out with friends and family.
So you're supposed to also say watching sports, because Ryan and Trevor both said all 3 of us love watching sports.
That is true. Definitely a big fan of the New York Football Giants. So they kind of drive my sadness a little bit sometimes, especially this season so far, but we're hoping for a bright future.
Nice. Trevor and Ryan also shared their favorite teams and how sad that can be, and also how awful that could be on Monday mornings when you guys have to talk about what happened over the weekend.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because we're all fans of teams in the NFC East, but we're fans of rivals. So it's always an interesting on our Monday morning meeting being like, hey, your team stunk, so did mine. It is what it is.
Who stunk more, right?
Yep, exactly.
What is one fact about you that few people, if anyone, might know?
I am not a big fan of tomatoes. No.
In all forms, just raw?
Tomato sauce, I'm okay with, like if it's on pasta or meatballs or something like that. But tomatoes on a sandwich, anything like that, I like to avoid it.
So no salad, no sandwiches, none of that. How do you feel about ketchup?
Love ketchup, which is the strangest part. So
it's definitely the raw tomato situation that turns you off. Okay.
Yep.
Interesting. Good to know. Tell us a little bit about what you do at 409.
So I am a data scientist. My main role on the team is the modeling and creation of our dashboards. And
how did you come to work for the team here at 409 and be part of the ownership structure?
So in my previous role, I worked as a data analyst, putting together dashboards internally for a company. Pretty much, I feel like I took the dashboards at that company as far as they could go. And we kind of got to a point where things were getting a little stagnant. There weren't any new projects coming my way. So I decided to look around and see what was available. And oddly enough, the day that I decided that, I had posted about a certification I got for Power BI. And Ryan actually saw my post and reached out. We had dinner that week for an interview, and I think I started 3 weeks later. So
timing is everything, right?
Yes, for sure. Caught me on the perfect day.
I love the fact that you said you kind of got a little stagnant and there was nowhere else to go in your other company, because, you know, having observed you and your role at 409, your hunger and your drive comes across very, very clearly. So it's, I think, awesome for the audience to hear that, you know, you hit it, I'm going to call it a ceiling. Maybe that's a little dramatic, but you hit a ceiling at your prior company and you were like, nope, this is not what I want. And I got to look for something more challenging, more satisfying. I think that speaks to your character. And I think that's a really awesome trait that you have.
Thank you. And that's why I love working at 409 so much. You know, it's in a good way, a never ending list of problems and new things to handle for our clients that, you know, is always keeping me busy and always keeping me moving forward.
Yes. What area of technology are you most interested in?
I would say reporting in general. I know that that's pretty broad, but it can be Power BI, Tableau, Excel, whatever it may be. I like taking raw data and transforming it into a usable tool for our clients.
Yes, it definitely tells a story after you're done with it, and it's a very clear story. And so many of us are, have different learning styles, and being an accountant, obviously I'm very analytical and numbers driven, but the way that you are able to sort of draw that picture in dashboards for other business owners, I think is so important. And I love that was the favorite area of technology that you picked. How about, what are you most proud of in your professional life?
The progress that I've made, I would say, over the last year and a half, just on Power BI development, modeling, and different techniques. I think when I got to 409, or SKC for that matter, I thought I was good at Power BI. And now that I've now spent, full time working with Power BI for the last 2 years, I think that my experience has grown so much, and thus we're able to deliver a more concise and faster product to our clients because of it.
There's really something to be said about, you don't know what you don't know, right? And until you put yourself in that environment where you can discover what that is, right, we can hardly even begin to think of what's out there that we don't know about.
Yeah, I mean, I think we evolve every time we onboard a new client and they present us with a issue that we've never seen before. It kind of drives innovation on our end to be able to get to our deliverables.
Yeah, and you were surrounded by a great group with Ryan and Trevor, so the three of you all challenge each other and support each other, and problem solve together, which is great to see.
Absolutely.
How about, what are you most proud of on your personal side, in your personal life?
This is going to be a two-parter.
Okay.
First part is my girlfriend and I purchased our second home a few months back. So very proud of that. And then the second one on the personal side would be, I ran a marathon back in April, my first one, and I beat my goal by about 30 minutes. So very happy about that.
Now, wait a minute. You said your first one. Are you planning on a second marathon in the future?
Not yet, but I've still been going for about one run a week just to, not lose it completely, but nothing on the schedule as of now.
Okay, because I thought after you had accomplished what you had accomplished with the first one, like you said, beating your intended goal, that you were, okay, that's in the books, I'm done. I didn't know there was a lingering potential second one out there.
There might be. I mean, I could, try to qualify for Boston, something cool like that. And also, I've been kind of dabbling with the idea of doing something different, like an Ironman or a Spartan run, something along those lines, where it still, requires a lot of training and a lot of desire to get it done, but it's not just running.
Right. You can work yourself up to a triathlon, right?
Yeah, exactly. It'd be fun.
You've got the running piece.
Yep.
So just overall, if you were talking to somebody who was in your position and had, a similar passion the way that you do about technology and dashboard reporting, what advice would you give that person?
I would say set a goal or set a deliverable that in your mind, in the current state, you think is very hard, and just work to get it done. Reach out to different resources and just keep trying until you get there, because that's the way that you're gonna, learn how to really do this.
Now, did that come naturally to you, or is that something that you learned over time?
Well, I jumped into Power BI because I outgrew Excel and Google Sheets for reporting. And I had no experience with it. I just kind of was like, yeah, I want to try this, see how it goes. So I did have a lofty goal set for me when I first did that. And when I was kind of just bumbling around in there, it did take me a while, but I was able to figure it out and then continue to progress over the last couple of years.
So are you pretty much self-taught on Power BI?
I took one learning class, the one that I posted about on LinkedIn that Ryan saw, fortunately. And then also I have a certification in Power BI through Microsoft, but it was more of a multiple choice kind of question thing, not so much learning there.
Yeah, in Trevor's introduction podcast, he talked about being a good Googler, and that you're not the only person who's ever had this problem. You just need to find who those other people were and what their answer is.
Absolutely. Google and ChatGPT is a great resource for it as well.
Yes, I am dabbling in Chat GPT more and more, and I am a fan. I think I've accepted it as part of our life, and I try to work it in as much as we can from a professional standpoint.
Yeah, for me, ChatGPT, I like to have it sort of replace the monotonous tasks in my
Mhm.
day. Like if I'm writing a piece of code and it's 30 lines long, but I need to repeat it 20 more times, I'll write the first 60 lines and I'll say, hey, ChatGPT, can you repeat this 30 more times? It'll do it,
Mhm.
copy and paste, and it's usually perfect. Sometimes some minor tweaks, but minor tweaks are better than, typing out all those lines.
So you're using it for automation. I didn't even really think that of the use that way. I use it more from a brainstorming, ideation standpoint, sort of to get the accountant brain juices flowing when I have to think of something creative.
Yeah, I mean, it has so many uses, right? So whatever works best for you, feel free to go for it.
Right. So tell me what you're most looking forward to professionally in the upcoming year ahead.
Growth. And by growth, I mean helping more clients. Because at the end of
Mm.
the day, that's what I care about the most. So, the more clients we can bring in and set up with dashboards and help them with our service, I think the better.
Great. Terrific. How about a resource that you would recommend to the audience, whether that be a book or a podcast, or a TED Talk? What are your thoughts on something that's your go-to, if you will?
I'd say a little more broader, LinkedIn. I follow Power BI, data analytics, data visualization tags on LinkedIn. And a lot of times I get some really good posts that have, different techniques and different things that people have done, which I find to be very helpful on the creative side of things.
Cool. I like that. I haven't gotten that one yet when I was talking to the other guys. That's a good one. And then my classic wrap-up question for all of the nerdy folks out there, if you could have one superpower, what would it be and why?
I would like to fly.
How come?
Getting around places be a lot easier. If I want to go travel to Europe for a week, you just fly on over instead of getting a flight or anything like that. It would make my commute into work a lot easier as well.
It
And
would. It
then it would
would.
help me, I could fly around for a marathon and I'd definitely, get a better time.
I don't know that that would count if you cross the finish line in flight, but I don't know.
It hasn't been done yet, so I
That's
guess there'd have to
true.
be a new ruling on it.
Well, Mike, thank you for joining us today. I'm glad our audience got to know more about you, and they will have the whole background on the 409 team. We are dropping new podcasts on the 15th day of every month, so please follow us so that you can get the latest version. Mike, I know that we'll have you back for some future editions of this, so thank you so much for joining us today, and I look forward to our future podcasts together.
Yeah, thanks for having me and looking forward to them as well.